with my own blood. I'm fine with somebody else's blood. I'm not good with my own blood because I think it's not supposed to get back in there. It's supposed to stay in there. And, I remember having occasional nosebleed as a young child. But as an adult and having a nosebleed, I thought, okay, well, that'll stop. I'll hold it. And then the other nostril starts bleeding. I'm thinking, oh, my goodness. Now, I couldn't stop this from bleeding. So I was trying to conceal this from the people who were there. I said, oh, I'll see you later. And, tried to be as calm as I could. And I took off and went home. And, of course, I told my wife, and she was quite alarmed because at that time I'd lost a fair bit of blood. And I tried to contact various people in the Lord, and none of them were available. They just all, oh dear, what do I do? Now, I did know of a Christian doctor who had a lot to do with me over the years in different churches that I'd been to. And I thought, oh, he lives up the road. I'm going to go and see him. And this blood did not stop. And when it would stop for a little bit, this large clot would come out and my nose would start bleeding again. I started to feel so weak from this blood loss. And I went to the doctor and he said he had a look and said, and it just stopped as I got there. And he said, okay, I can't remember all the things that he said about the vessels and things that were going. He said, you absolutely need surgery. This is what the problem is, so forth. He got on the phone, he called the surgeon. He said, can you get there today? He said, no, you have to be at the hospital. So, oh, this is all going as I'm there with him. Surgeon's going to be at the hospital tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. You've got to be there. In the meantime, if you go home and this starts again, immediately go to emergency. So I said to myself, okay, right, yep. So we left there, went home. And as soon as I get out of the car, my nose starts bleeding again, profusely, pouring. But I knew somewhere within myself that the Lord did not want me to go to the hospital. I thought, Lord, I've got to go to the hospital. And it's like holding this again and it stops and there's a bit of clotting going on. And then that came out as a big plug and again. And I'm talking, seemed like liters of blood. I don't know how much, it was a lot. So I got myself into bed and I said, I'm just going to read the word. My first port of call at that point, because I'd already tried, I thought, well, I'll try in faith with prayer. I'll try a Christian doctor that I know. And I thought, I'm going to have to go to, an emergency in a minute. But as the Lord just arrested me for a moment and I sat there and I opened the living word and I started to read in my bed. And as I was reading from Ephesians, and the Lord said to me, actually so gently, allow me to heal you. Now, what a sweet and beautiful thing. And of course I said yes, with tears of joy. And I called out to my wife and I said, darling, or honey, whatever I said, I'm healed. And I yelled it out through the house because I knew at that point that it was done. Believed upon him, I dared to believe him. And even though he came to me so gently, the maker of all that we see and all that we are, asked of me. And he said, allow me. And of course I said, yes, hallelujah. And of course to this day, there's never been any issue.